Hello and welcome to Bilingual Analytics. My name is Roland and today we are going to talk about data modeling. So you clicked on this video to become a Power BI superstar, right? Now the first step in this journey is to learn about data modeling and understand the so-called Star Schema. Now, before we jump into this video, I'm going to make an assumption about you, my dear viewer. I'm going to assume that you already know Excel, you know VLOOKUPs, and you know pivot tables, and you already use those in your business. I'm also going to put the links down below for the sample dataset that I'm using. It's Microsoft Contoso dataset, so feel free to use that. And now without further ado, let's jump into this. In a regular Excel report, we all start from a flat file. It means that we have all of our data in a single spreadsheet. We can achieve this by either exporting lots of details from our system or just running a bunch of VLOOKUPs. In this example, you can see yellow columns with customer details, blue columns with product details, then the gray columns are date, and the green is for our invoice quantity. Once we achieve this view, we can start slicing and dicing with filters, chucking a pivot table on this, and create a summarized report view. Of course, using the product cost, sales price, we can create measures for total cost, revenue, or margin. It's not rocket science so far. We can also import this Excel file into Power BI, and believe it or not, this is going to work. So let me just quickly show you how to do that. We go to Power BI, click on the Excel button, select the file, then select the spreadsheet that we are looking for, or the sheet itself, and just click on the load button. If you look at the right hand side, we have all the columns from the Excel spreadsheet loaded into Power BI. We can easily achieve whatever we essentially wanted to do with them, and just drag and drop those fields into the canvas. Let's just stop here for a moment. I'm not going to lie, this is where I started, and I'm fairly certain that all the non-IT folks are going to start from here or have started from this point. Now, when I started my journey with Power BI with just a couple of YouTube videos under my belt, I had no idea how to improve my initial data modeling skills. So if you are at this stage, don't be afraid. Just remember, Rome wasn't built in a day. Now back to the story. Again, this is our flat, regular Excel file with 55,000 rows and in total 19 columns. This is going to be important later down the track. The size of this spreadsheet is roughly 6.2 megabytes. It's not much, I know, but imagine if you have tons of transactions and you export all of them into a single file. It can and will go wide. But you are not here to hear about Excel file sizes, right? So, Star Schema, what is it? The official Microsoft documentation shows us the following picture. In the middle, there is a fact table or transactional table with lots of keys or IDs. And the pointy ends of the star are dimension tables or mapping tables. Think about these as your side tables in Excel, from which you pick up values with a VLOOKUP. This shape is going to be critical to have a good, reliable, and most importantly, speedy report in Power BI. I would even dare to say that once you have planned your Star Schema, it will guide your report pages and help you massively with all the other steps. If you can only remember one thing from the last few tech-related minutes, then try to remember this. In Power BI, columns are your enemies and rows are your friends. But what does it mean in practice? Again, this is our flat file. To make it look like a proper fact table, we need to strip away all the columns that we don't need. It will look like this. In this example, I was able to remove 15 columns out of the 19 that we had originally. Now obviously at this stage you won't be able to analyze anything in this file, but remember, we model our data to be used in Power BI, not in Excel. Once we have created our fact table, it is time to create our dimension or mapping tables. Usually these are the ones that you have to maintain on a regular basis. We have customers, date, and product mapping tables. These tables are usually the ones where you can have more columns but not that many rows. Think about this. At the end of the day, we will have more interaction with a single customer, but the details of the customer will always remain the same. And we don't need to repeat those details for every single transaction. We just need to make sure that we can easily identify which transaction belongs to which customer. Now this is how our customer mapping table looks like. And if we switch over to the product, this is what we get as a product mapping. So now it's time to import all of these Excel files into Power BI. We go through the same process, but with a little twist at the end. Once all those files are imported, we click on the Model button in Power BI. Here we can create connections or relationships between our tables. In a sense, this is where we teach Power BI how to use VLOOKUPs automatically. We grab a field and drop over to another table. There you go. We immediately have a connection. For the time being, I'm not going to go into details on what's that star and 1 means. This is going to be a little bit more advanced. But just remember something, you only create these relationships to slice and dice your data. Do not bring in a field just for the sake of having it in your report. It serves no purpose. We are getting a little bit close to that star shape. It's a good sign, as with these steps we are also getting closer in becoming a Power BI superstar. Okay, so now that I show you how to create the star schema, you're probably going to ask a couple of questions. What's the point of going through all this hassle? Where is my benefit? And just in general, how does this going to help me with the report? To explain the real benefit, let me show you the file sizes. Splitting the raw data files to suit the star schema can help with file sizes. It could be critical once you start importing more and more data. And believe me, you will soon want to import more and more data to your model. You might say that that's cool, but nowadays it's really cheap and easy to invest in more storage. In that case, let me show you another crucial piece to that puzzle. But before I do, let's design our two Power BI reports a little bit. I'm going to count to 3, and both flat and star reports are going to look a little bit nicer with a few slicers, KPIs, and 2 visuals. So 1, 2, 3. I also added 2 measures, total cost and total revenue. Once again, these 2 reports look exactly the same, the only difference is the data model. So right now you're looking at the flat file and you can see that we have just a massive dump of fields from our Excel table. And if we have a look at our star schema and star report, you can see the different tables that go into this model. So let's have a quick look on report performance. I'm not going to bore you with all the tech details, just watch. We ran the performance analyzer for both reports, and it is clear to see that the star schema model reacted to the same interactions almost 18% quicker. Again, imagine if you have far larger models with heaps more data. This 18% increase in speed can be a deal breaker for report users, and it can lead to lower numbers when it comes to user retention. We all want our reports to be quick. If your user needs to wait 5 to 10 seconds after every interaction, they will hate the system and you won't be able to convince them that Power BI reporting is 1,000,000 times better than Excel. And the result of that, you will also be frustrated. So to wrap it up, always remember to start your report creation process with planning. Allow yourself enough time and your team to brainstorm ideas, to make sure that you only bring in fields and details to the report that you're really going to need. These few steps can help you save some time and enhance your report user experience. I like to say that 80% of the time that you spend on a report starts even before you open Power BI. Thanks for watching, and I hope that you now have a better understanding about the Star Schema in Power BI. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a new episode. Stay tuned and see ya!